right, bro. 40s and shorties, son. Oh, it tastes like bad decisions.
Last time I drank these things, bro, was a hell of a day.
Oh, what?
Hell of a day.
Bro, you ever did Edward 40 hands?
Oh, yeah. We did a thing called Scotty TW hands. All right.
Oh, God.
You know what that is? They strapped a fifth of TW Samuels to my hand.
Oh, damn.
And then they strapped a liter of Sprite.
Oh.
So you try to get that balance going.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you can be walking a little weird.
I got a crazy story to tell you.
All right.
What happened. We went to Montana.
Right.
All right. So I've never been to Montana before, and I've never been on a hike in the mountains before. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, before we even get to this trail, before we even get started, all right, everybody stopped because you can see a big ass grizzly across the mountains. On this trail, we're about 2 hours in.
Right.
And there's this beautiful sight that you could see on the left.
Yeah.
Of the water, the lake, and everything. And then you can take a left and go down that trail, which is the easier route.
Right.
And you can go around the lake and kind of go in a circle around there.
Yeah.
Or you can take the right and you can go as high up to the glaciers.
Oh, dang.
So we're with 13 people. 10 of them say, well, we're going to the lake. Well, my buddy and his wife say, well, we're going to see the glacier. And I'm powered through right now by White Claw and whiskey.
Yeah.
And they said, dude.
My legs don't hurt. We're good.
They said, dude, I ain't never seen somebody drink just White Claw and whiskey and go on this long of a hike before. I said, fuck it. I said,
Keeps you warm.
yeah, it does. But I said to them, I said, you know, I'm already here.
Right.
So I want to go see the damn glacier too.
Yeah.
So
Like, when you going to do that again, you know?
yeah, so I decided three of us took the right. So we're walking up there, man. We're at the point now to where it's sleeting on us. Mm-hmm. And my foot slips because it's at a part where we have to kind of climb up on things.
Right.
My foot slips on this little stream edge.
Oh.
And my groin pops. Well,
Like,
they were ahead of me a little bit. They didn't realize
but you
that
felt it? Like,
it was blue the next morning.
cool.
My groin was literally blue the next morning. And they didn't realize that I fell back.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there waiting 5 or 10 minutes, like, okay, they're going to come back.
Right.
Because that kind of trail specifically says you should not hike alone.
Right. Probably for that specific reason, too.
Well, that and
Just
also,
the bears and stuff, too, you know?
and that's where it gets better because it was salmon spawning season.
Oh.
The one thing that they said is whenever you're hiking, to keep talking and keep making noise so that way you don't scare or come up so that way you don't scare a mama and her cubs or any kind of bear. So I'm sitting there 5 or 10 minutes, dude, and I'm like, fuck, I am about to die up here. Mm-hmm. Bruh, whenever I realized that I had to walk back that 2.5, 3 hours by myself,
Yeah.
my heart was pounding because I knew exactly this type of situation that I was in.
Right. You're like, this can't be the day.
I said, this ain't good. This is not good. I'm limping back. Look like a fucking wounded animal limping back.
Did you grab like a branch or something?
I had a walking stick.
okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, good.
And I had bear spray and a knife. Well, I'm walking back. I'm talking to myself in the camera, and you can hear me saying, I miss the fucking water. I can dive with sharks all day. That's fine with me. I mean, dude, I take a kayak out past the third sandbar. I strap a rope to my ankle to the kayak, and I go diving, free diving underneath.
Right.
That don't bother me.
Yeah.
You put me in a fucking area with bears? Fuck that. You know why? To die by a bear is one of the most gruesome ways that you can go out because they're omnivores.
Yeah.
All right, you realize what happens if an omnivore attacks you and decides it wants to eat you?
Yeah.
When an omnivore is going to do that, they're going to sit on top of you, and a bear's going to eat you like it eats a fucking salmon.
Yeah. It's just piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
It's not like a cat that goes straight for the throat and it's done.
Yes, I would much rather die from a tiger than a bear any day of the week. I don't want to die by either one of them. But so my mindset is that, okay, if I see a bear, I know if it's a mama and her cubs, I just have to lay down in the fetal position and let it fuck me up.
Right.
Just let it fuck me up. I mean, you ever saw the movie The Revenant?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So they say that the way Leo got attacked by the bear in that movie is the most accurate form of a bear attack. Yeah. Because after the mama attacks you, don't make a move, don't make a noise.
No.
Act like you're dead.
Yeah, she mainly wants you to get you away from the cub completely.
Now, if it's a bear that's hungry,
they're gonna keep eating.
Said if it's so here's the rule of thumb with bears: if it's black, attack; if it's brown, lie down; and if it's white, good night.
Yeah, because they literally only eat meat. Like polar bears only eat meat.
Polar bears are one of the 7 animals that consider us prey.
Oh yeah.
Them, crocodiles, tigers, leopards in some sorts.
Yeah. Mountain lions sometimes. Not usually, but it depends where you're at.
Yeah,
too.
it depends. Well, anyway, so I'm walking back on this trail, man, and I'm looking up, and I can see all the dens above me. Mm-hmm. Well, it gets to this part of the trail where there's nothing but brush, and I'm looking up.
Right.
And I see, my heart fucking drops, dude. I'm gonna show you this picture. My heart fucking dropped and started pounding more than it already was. Fucking bear. It was a black bear. I'd say 80 to 90 yards away from me.
And you're also walking with a limp, kind of, too.
Yes,
so it's
not looking good.
No.
So what I did in that situation is I looked into the camera, said, well, folks, if this is it, this is it. And I grabbed the bear spray, undid my knife, and I turned on AC/DC. I didn't even notice the poisonous snakes going over my feet at that point.
Oh, no. You're in full, like, flight or fight, like,
I'm
mentality.
throwing down, son. Look, I ain't going out that easily.
Scott's
going out saving the president, bro. I ain't going down like that. Then this beaver was chilling about 10 yards away from me. It wasn't a beaver. It was a fucking badger.
Oh, shit.
Big ass badger. I got that video for you, too.
Yeah.
And good thing I just stopped and stood and got a video of it.
Yeah, because...
And this was a good thing I didn't walk underneath because it was on a cliff edge.
Right.
Just chilling up there. This son of a bitch ran down, stopped about 10 yards in front of me, looked at me, said, "Sup?"
And then just was
jousted.
Like,
dude, just jousted.
It's like, I'm out here for these snakes.
Well, I'm about an hour into this hike. I'm still talking into the camera.
Right.
I see a deer. A deer popped its head up. Didn't even run away. Just popped its head up at me about 10 yards away. I said, well, if you're right here, I sure as hell don't want to be right here.
Yeah.
I made it back, all right? Mm-hmm. So I get back to this little resort that we started the hike at. And my friend's mom goes, where's everybody else at? I said, well, that's a great fucking question. And in comes 10 of them. They said, oh, there you are. So the fuck you mean there I am?
Yeah.
So where are they at? They said, oh, they're about to come in. He goes, oh, there you are, man. We thought we were going to have to go to the ranger. I said, now's the time you think you were going to have to go to the ranger?
No one looked around and was like, wait a minute.
Well, here's what they said. They met up. They met up after they went to the glacier. They said, where's Scott? And they said, well, we kind of consolidated as a group and said, well, if anybody's going to make it back by themselves, it's going to be you. I said, well, while I appreciate that confidence in me, I'm still fucking royally pissed.
Yeah, like, I'm by myself. Like, it's not like y'all are going to walk back near me or something. Like,
that could have been bad, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That could have been very, very bad.
That's
because whenever I went back and I watched that footage of me slipping the second time, my camera spun out. And in the grass, the blades of grass, you see a big brown figure just staring. Wait till you see this shit.
Something's kind of similar, but not exactly the same. I went hiking in Tennessee at the national parks out there and stuff. And, you know, they always talk about, like, all in those Smoky Mountains are like, you know, look out for bears, stuff. This is like the fourth or fifth day we've been hiking. And I'm like, I still haven't seen one bear anywhere near any of these trails. None of that, like...
You don't want to.
So we go on this one trail, and they have 2 park rangers at the bottom of it. I'm just like, oh, that's strange. Like, this is the only trail we've seen where they have park rangers. And so we're going, and I'm just like, man, like, I hope we see a bear or something, you know, but not like, you know, not next to me or something. We go up this one trail, and at the end of it, it has like this horseshoe curve, and it goes to a waterfall right there. Like, that's the end of the trail. It's this big waterfall. You could kind of go down, and it goes out. So, you know, taking pictures, everything all good. We turn around to start going back. On that horseshoe, a mama black bear and a cub comes down right there, right where the trail is. So we just hightail it back. So we're trapped where the waterfall is and getting back Like you can't. They're right there on that trail, right on the side of it, eating grass and stuff. Everyone's like, "What do we do? What do we do?" I'm like, "We are not going close. Like, we are leaving them alone. No, we're gonna wait for someone else to walk around that corner because we don't want to go right there." And they're just, a little bit up, and then she turns, and that would have been it. And I was like, "Oh no."
Elena goes the other day. She goes, "Babe, why don't you want to go why can't we go kayaking in Lake Martin?" I said, "Sweetheart,
You know what lives in there?"
I said, I've nearly got knocked off my kayak by a bull shark. After what just happened in Montana, quite frankly, I don't know how much more luck I have with these wild animals.
Nature's coming for me.
And the sad thing is, dude, I had a plan that if I was getting attacked by a bear,
Right.
I had a thought in my head that I could still whoop its ass. That I was going to wait for a 1 second time frame and come around and slit its throat with my knife and cut its jugular.
Yeah, till that paw comes swinging.
And dude, I was listening to Forrest Galante say, he goes, if you're one of those people that your method is fight all day instead of flight when your life's in danger, please ignore that fighting instinct real quick.
Yeah.
You are not going to beat a grizzly bear in a fight.
Yeah.
I said, bullshit.
But they always say, right? You don't have to be faster than the bear. You just got to be faster than the other people with you.
That's true. It's the truth. Everything in my head at that point, every bad scenario is going through your head. Because
right.
Whenever you're put in a position like that to where it was almost like my own horror movie in a sense, because that was my biggest fear, was being stuck out in the mountains, someplace I've never been before.
Right.
And seeing bears. That was the one thing I did not want to happen, is that I would end up by myself on that trail and have to hike back by myself, which I had to hike back 3 hours by myself.
Yourself.
Hurt.
Just hearing noises.
Bleeding. Limping. Scared. And pissed.
Yeah.
I was royally mad.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're like, these motherfuckers. No one came looking.
No, dude.
Like, what if I didn't come back? Like, y'all were just going to get a ranger and be like, oh, I guess Scott died on this trip. Like,
I mean, damn, bro.
can't remember if it's crocodiles or alligators, but they technically don't have an age range. The only thing that kills them is either starvation or disease. Like natural causes of death. Basically, if it can eat and never get sick, they have no idea how long they can actually live for. So, that's disturbing.
It's wild. That's wild.
But that's also like lobsters. Like, lobsters are pretty interesting like that, too. Like, once they get to a certain age, they revert back to, like, when they were small and then, like, just regrow again.
The people who think that kayaking in Lake Martin is completely safe, you're fucking crazy.
Oh, I see people all the time, my friends, they take pictures. There's like an alligator like 3 feet from them. And I'm like, why are you so comfortable right now?
It's a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah. Have you seen its mouth?
It has the second strongest bite force of any animal in the animal kingdom, right behind the crocodile.
Yeah, especially those saltwater ones in Africa.
Nah, dude. Here's an even crazier story. And today's Florida Man segment of the day on Unwoken is sponsored by none other than Old English. Instead of the 40 ounces, we decided to upgrade it to 42. Florida Man has 2 Nile crocodiles, right? 2 babies. Babies get big. Florida Man can't feed them anymore. Guess what Florida Man does?
Oh, puts them in the Everglades like everyone else.
What's worse than putting 2 Nile crocodiles in the Everglades?
The pythons that are there?
No. You know what's worse than putting 2 Nile crocodiles in the Everglades?
Putting a male and a female?
In the Everglades.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently they've, like, those pythons and stuff knocked, like, 90% of the wildlife out.
Dude, there's no deer out there to hunt anymore.
No.
No, none whatsoever. They've completely demolished that entire area.
And you'll hear stories about people being like, I saw a 5-foot python.
Yeah, dude, they can get big, man.
Yeah, especially if they're eating good.
And their jaws expand. Their lower jaw
separates
and allows them to be able to pull their fucking head back at about 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. It's insane.
And just
It's
put
insane.
a whole deer just sitting in it, and it's not moving. It's just gonna stay right there.
Yeah, dude, you saw the video of that python and the alligator fighting? Mm-mm. You didn't see that shit? It's wild, man.
Oh.
Well, they had a python that actually ate a whole alligator,
Yeah.
and it ended up bursting. Its body burst
Oh yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
skin.
Oh wait, never mind. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't see the video of them fighting. Well, I know what you're saying. Yeah, the alligator was still like trying to get out.
You know, the only good animal to be in the Everglades is right now? An electric eel.
I was about to say a mosquito, maybe.
An electric eel, cuz.
This is your best shot.
Yeah. I mean, mosquitoes are classified as the number one deadliest animal on the planet.
Yeah, because of the
Diseases.
yeah, because they spread what is it, malaria?
Malaria.
Yeah, that's a lot of the problem in Africa. If I remember right, is actually mosquitoes.
But,
with
oh,
malaria.
from that deer heart, dude, I got E. coli.
Oh, was it like diseased or?
My kidneys were starting to fail.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
I had gotten home, and I'm looking, my vision's all blurry, dude. And I get into the bathtub, and I sit there for about fucking 30 minutes, dude. And I try to get out, and I could barely move. So I finally get out, and I'm just holding on. I'm like, fuck, dude, this ain't something's up. And I go to lay down in my bed. Well, I'm laying down, and it's just my phone rings, and I'm so weak to where I don't even pick it up. So we're thinking maybe some form of COVID or something like that.
Right.
Well, I don't go to the doctor. Well, it's day 5, and I've dropped 20 pounds already. My mom comes. She goes, son, at what point are we going to say we need to go to a hospital?
Yeah.
So I said, Mom, I guess we'll decide tomorrow if I ain't feeling better. Ended up being E. coli, dude. Still didn't go to a hospital. I fucking found a way to treat that shit myself.
Start getting holistic medicine in
I
there.
I had to contact the doctor and get like a kidney,
right, like a cleanse thing. Or
no,
something?
kidney biotics to rebuild them up. But I mean,
Right. Oh, like some milk thistle and stuff.
well, dude, I mean that was.
Well, that's more for your liver than your kidneys.
I tell you what, that was the worst sickness I ever damn felt in my life.
Oh, yeah. I think I got COVID again this year, but it was just one day. Like my back was just it literally just felt like the muscles were just like tight.
Oh shit, we can't talk about COVID now.
Oh no.
Yeah, the Rougarou juice.
Yeah, the Rougarou juice, also a sponsor.
We don't take any donations or any sponsorships from Big Pharma.
Yeah, sorry you guys.
Fuck off.
Dude, we actually did that in college. In one of my chemistry labs, we made aspirin.
How you make that?
I mean, I would have to go back and get the book. But he was like, you could take it home and show people stuff. He's like, do not take it, though. This is like extremely concentrated aspirin. Like, it will destroy your kidneys if you try it.
See, that's why I don't take any kind of Tylenol or ibuprofen ever.
I get a headache maybe once a year, ever. And I could take one Tylenol and it's done.
I get them. I did take a lot of ibuprofen whenever I had my tooth infection.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's still ibuprofen, basically.
Yeah, that shit sucks, too.
Yeah, that's what our science fair stuff was in high school. We used fruit flies and we tried Advil, ibuprofen, and what was the other one? I think it was Tylenol. But they're all 3 different active chemicals. Like ibuprofen is obviously ibuprofen. Then there's I think Advil was acetylsalicylic cyclic acid. And I couldn't remember what Tylenol was, but it was like a different one. But we literally were just testing, like, we were seeing, so we did like 5 or 6 generations, and we were looking for changes in male to female population, deformities, mutations, like they grow horns or something, like they
Grow
like
horns?
Yeah, they'll grow like a horn, like
A fruit fly?
yeah, from the medicine, because we were like, well, all these people flushing pills down their toilet, like what is that doing to the water and the waterways and stuff like that? And, I mean, we made it to like the state level with that like project.
What beat y'all?
It was a group of girls. I don't even remember, but
There not be no damn fucking machine,
their teacher,
volcano.
their teacher, like basically did their whole project for them, I guess. But there was one kid at it, because this is at LSU. There was one kid there in a different category, and he had a patent sign on like his board on all his stuff. They had come up with a throat lozenge to cure throat cancer.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, there's no way this dude came up with this on his own. And then it showed like, oh, Professor whatever was also the one that helped him with it. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
There has to be a cure for cancer.
Yeah, there is. Mm-hmm. But there's no money in it.
No, because a cured patient is lost profit.
Yeah.
How fucked is that?
Like, how much money do you need?
How fucked is that?
And it's all just to show people who are buying stocks, like, hey, look, we're still, like, growing, like, we're making more. Like, no one can say, I think we have enough money. Like, they always want something else, like, something better. It's all keeping up with the Joneses and stuff. They're never happy. They can't be satisfied with their life. Can't be satisfied with anything around them because they always think they can get more, and that's going to be the thing. Never has been.
No, it's so fucked, dude. Like, I mean,
I don't get it.
I mean, today our society as a whole is just really fucked.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, dude, I bring this up all the time, but that teacher that had to resigned over her OnlyFans account. You saw that?
Yeah, like I'm like, she's not doing it at school. She's not telling the kids, hey, when you get home, like.
But I say this all the time. All these girls who do OnlyFans and want to have a family, like porn stars, like Riley Reid crying on YouTube about how her family's disowned her and shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, yeah. I mean, if I'm not as religious as it gets either, but if any of my sisters or family members were porn stars,
right,
you couldn't bribe me with anything for me to want to claim, because you realize the kind of shit you'd be putting me through if somebody found out you were related to me.
Right.
I mean, I feel so bad for these young kids, dude, whenever they get older. I feel so bad because girls are ruthless when it comes down to bullying. We all know that. But let me tell you something. If a group of boys finds out that your mom or your sister or your cousin or somebody you're related to did porn or OnlyFans, dude, you're fucked.
Well, you'd almost have to argue with them, like, why are you looking up my mom? That's weird.
Why wouldn't you? If you know, why wouldn't you?
Number two, I'm like, if it's OnlyFans, number two, you just go, dude, you just bought me a new PlayStation because y'all all subscribe. Like, you know, like, how else are you going to see this unless you pay to see it? I could understand, like, yeah, a lot of people would be like, why did you do that? It's affecting my life. Mm-hmm. Because of your past decisions, and it's always going to be something like, well, we were just struggling or something like, but it's like, there's a lot of things out there you could do for money, and you don't have to do that. But
I mean, you got to look at it from this perspective. I mean, it takes a certain kind of guy to be able to date a porn star. Right. Or to date an adult film actress.
To have that kind of like just like...
And look, I'm not naive and not hypocritical to the point where we haven't all watched porn. Duh. But I look at it from a standpoint. If you're filming straight up sex content with a dildo by yourself or with another human being, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
I think the thing about OnlyFans is, I think it's more of a kink, a fetish for people because you know that person.
Yeah. They get to know them more intimately.
Yeah, it's like you know that person.
But you know how scary that must be to be like, hey, you guys, I'm at the store, and people are like, I know exactly which Albertsons that is. And then now you got to be concerned going to Walmart and stuff like that, because if someone is that obsessed with you, giving you money,
yeah, I mean,
then now your life is going to become a little bit more dangerous.
Well, I mean, look. So there is a ongoing situation where I think because of Mike Malak and Lana Rhoades, guys can sit here and say, "Oh, well, I can forgive that." In all reality, as a man, could you honestly see yourself in a relationship with a woman who did OnlyFans or did porn?
Nah.
What if she did it 15 years ago?
I don't know. It would have to be a really good argument from her to like. She would. I still don't know. Probably not because it's still out there.
Old English 40s now come in the exquisite 42-ounce beer.
They're giving you extra 2 ounces.
Extra 2 ounces.
It's not even a joke anymore.
We ain't playing, bro. You don't even need that brown paper bag no more. Look at
You
that.
want to know the craziest part of these?
What's that?
Oh, they used to have it. I don't think they have it anymore. They used to have a little thermostat on the side and it would turn blue when they were cold.
I thought that was the Coors Light Mountain.
No, they had them on these too. I remember that.
Hot damn.
It's like, damn. So just send us like a case of those. We'll be all right. Have you noticed the weather's a little bit weirder? Like this summer.
How hot it was?
It was just dry. There was no rain for like months on end. Hasn't rained really this year that much.
Poured last night.
Yeah, but in general.
And the night before.
But in general.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Have you ever heard of this place called Harp?
No.
Okay, it's all individual letters, but it's HAARP. It's in Alaska. And what it is, it's a government facility, right? Gotta get some plausible deniability here.
Yeah, bro.
What it is based off of Nikola Tesla's, one of his inventions. So whenever Tesla died, all his patents, all that stuff were in trunks in his home. The FBI were one of the first people to go in there. Took all them trunks. He had this idea of using the ionosphere because it circulates to create energy, free energy. Turns out what you could do with that is actually control weather around the entire globe, basically. So you can actually pretty close precision change the weather in spots. And in Alaska is where HARP it's an actual facility in Alaska. Because the atmosphere is thinner, closer to the poles, so you could actually get to the ionosphere with less energy.
We were talking about the Hadron Collider last time. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that they're trying to create a small black hole?
No, they make them all the time.
Are you shitting me?
No, you'll see them in the test. They just close right up. But that was another weird thing that me and Jeff were saying. What if they're using that to just, if you believe in a multi-dimensional universe, it's like multiverses.
Yeah, multiverse.
What if there's something they know? Because they do have computers that can predict like 5 minutes into the future. What if they know something's going to happen, and when they run it and do that, that little tiny black hole you see enclosed is actually it just closing the very end of it, and they're shifting our time over to like a different timeline, just slightly off. That way, whatever was going to happen in this timeline doesn't happen to us here. Because you got to think the Mandela effect, the bears seen bears, like all that stuff. Like, why does everybody remember it that way? But if you look at the stuff, it's not that way.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Plausible deniability. Yeah. Because, I mean, it makes sense. Because if you're accelerating particles and energy that quickly, like basically the speed of light, like it's 99.999999 time, like percent of the speed of light.
And how do you
right
contain
on the
that?
edge.
How do you contain a black hole?
Oh, well, if they're not big enough, they usually just collapse on themselves.
Okay, because I thought a pin cap of a black hole.
Oh, no. They'll collapse on themselves. It doesn't have enough mass to actually like
do any
pull
damage.
in, anything.
Damn, dude, that'd be crazy. Did you see about that solar storm in 2025 that could potentially?
I heard about it today, but I didn't really look at it.
Yeah, it's like the solar storm in 2025 could potentially shut down the internet for weeks or months at a time.
Oh yeah, yeah, but they can have all that. They can fix all that stuff. That's not unusual.
So
all the satellites. I mean, I worked on one in college, which I still can't talk about for another like 2 years, I think, because I signed an NDA with NASA and stuff.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So the satellites and everything is equipped with these, because the sun has solar flares all the time and stuff like that, which would shut out the satellites to begin with, which is the internet. Like, it's all ran through satellites. But they have these measures to where the satellites will close up. That way, when a solar flare or something comes across it, it won't damage anything inside. So I'm not really worried about that one. That's just a thing to get people freaked out. Like, it's not really that big of a deal.
So what would be one of the scariest scenarios from a scientific standpoint? That is more. What is one of the most realistic, scariest scenarios from a scientific standpoint that worries you, that could completely wipe out human life?
Oh, well, number one, the most obvious one is if we have a massive meteor strike. Like, if a shit ton of meteors start hitting the Earth.
One the size of one that's 30 feet could destroy the Earth.
You don't even need big ones, dude. If a buttload of them start coming down, we're in a pickle.
Yeah.
Like, there's an issue there.
And what are the odds of that happening?
It's pretty high.
Really?
Yeah, there's like thousands that hit every day, or like at least go into the atmosphere, but they're small enough they burn up. But the actual scary one is still with the Higgs boson, which is what they found with that collider where everyone was. Because there's this thing called false vacuum theory. And it's basically that, all right, so the Higgs boson sits at a certain electrical like voltage level and stuff like that. And they were registering it. It was, I think, 0.2 or 3 off of some, like every time they see them, it was like 0.2 or 3 off of what could be a severe problem. Because if it would get to that level, that means there's a possibility that we're living in a false vacuum. And so what would happen is the actual particle could quantum teleport to a lower energy level where it's more stable, which means literally everything that makes up this entire universe, all the matter, it's gone, because we're not actually at a stable energy state.
What's your credentials in terms of how you know so much about the atmosphere, all the science, all the physics?
All right. So I went to school for physics. I didn't graduate because it's mainly the bureaucracy of UL. I didn't want to keep playing games with them. They just want you to stay there as long as you can.
Preach.
Can't schedule the classes you actually need because they only offer them once a year. So now you're stuck. You're trying to keep your scholarships, and now it's costing you money and all this stuff. But once you've taken enough math and physics classes, you can go. There's a website. It's called Archive. It's arxiv.com or .org. It's one of those two. But if you just look up Archive like that, people can find it. My advisor told me about this one. People submit, you can go year by year, specific fields. It's usually computer science on there, mathematics, and a lot of physics. You can go year by year or specify what you're looking for and want to look into, and people will publish, not publish, but they'll put up their papers. This is completely free. They put their papers on there and get feedback before they try and get it published in like Science or any large journal like that. Because if someone can find little like, hey, this math is a little off here or whatever, they can make all their changes before they submit it. So you can literally learn, once you know enough mathematics, you can just read these papers and be like, okay, I know what they're talking about. Okay, that makes sense. And you can just learn all these different things on your own.
So let me ask you this. In terms of Armageddon, all right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
So if an asteroid that size was actually hurtling towards the Earth, how do we stop it?
Well, the best way would be to nudge it, but you would have to know early enough on.
How early?
Like a good bit early. Probably about a year.
A year?
Yeah, because what you would do is you don't even have to blow it up. You just send a rocket at it, because if it's on that trajectory already, you just bump it and it just pushes it off a little bit. So it just goes around the Earth instead of straight into it.
So that already happens?
No. They're not that good at predicting it from that early on.
So where are we in terms of being able to predict it?
I'd probably say they got like a month, maybe a month.
Wait. So a month in advance?
Yeah, maybe.
So what is the likelihood? What would you say? How often do they get these scares?
Oh, it's not very often. I mean, they track most of them. I mean, the biggest scare mainly is they're worried about satellites and stuff like that getting damaged, because these things are flying at like 13,000 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And the satellite's also going across at that speed. So any little, like a nail or something, if it hits it, it'll just tear through like all kinds of stuff. That's why they have to keep putting the space station. They have to keep moving it further away.
Oh, you're talking about
to dodge all the space junk that's been sitting up there.
So, you know what I was thinking about the other day? So the talk of they had those two, I think was it Air Force or Navy pilots that testified in front of Congress that there are extraterrestrial beings. I was talking to my girlfriend about this. I said, babe, I know I haven't been the most spiritual guy in a long time, but can you imagine if we actually found out that there were extraterrestrial beings in this universe? Can you imagine from a religious standpoint, a religious doctrine standpoint?
Oh, what would happen?
What would happen? Because there's nothing in the Bible that says anything.
There's nothing in any major religion that accounts for foreign beings from another place.
Can you? What do you think happens at that point? Do you think people lose their fucking minds?
I think it's mainly people would be scared first. Because, I mean, they can make all these claims until you have it and show everybody, like, this is the actual thing. Like, these are the actual beings. Like, look, till you do that, all of it could just be a lie.
And do you think that's the reason why we haven't been given that information yet?
It seems possible. Yeah, I mean, I've heard other people talk about it. Like, if you could disguise a top secret program you've been working on, which it really isn't that hard, because I mean, as long as you don't have like hundreds of people knowing the details and you compartmentalize it, no one really knows specifically what they're working toward.
We have nothing in the Bible, any religious doctrine whatsoever, that accounts for extraterrestrial beings,
unless they are God.
And if you ask anybody who is somebody who's very religious or spiritual,
right?
Which, by the way, Christianity is a religion.
What? Since when?
Let me preface this statement. All right. So, as a little kid, I asked my mom a question. I said, "Mom, if God created the world, who created God?" She goes, "Well, son, that might be a question for Father Vu. God rest his soul. Love him, man."
Yeah.
And
pour one out.
My boy asked him, said, "Father Vu, if God created the world, who created God?" And he said, "Well," he goes, "God's always been here."
Right. That's the only
one. As a little kid, oh, okay.
You're like, all right, cool.
As an adult, and I still believe strongly in my Catholic faith.
Right.
The kids going to be raised Catholic. I will defend Catholicism to the end, even though I'm the worst practicing Catholic there is.
I'm not great at it either, but
neither am I. But
I get what you're saying.
But I'll defend my religion to the end. If extraterrestrial beings were to surface, that would throw everything off for a loop for a lot of people.
Unless they have their own religion too. Mathematically, it's a very low chance there's no other being. Like,
there's no way we can be the only ones in this universe.
I mean, there's more galaxies than there's grains of sand on the beaches of the Earth.
It's fucking wild.
So the fact that they can't get here, that's doesn't mean they're not out there. And number two, like, people think like, oh, they're gonna look like this, and it's like, if you have never seen an elephant before and one of those just fell out the sky and landed here, you would be like, what is this thing? Like you would have no idea like how to understand it as like a being. So like if something did come down, there's no way to like comprehend what it would look like. So when everyone's like, "Oh, it looked like they looked like this. They had arms," or it's like,
They had arms.
yeah, it's like, you sure? Like that might not have been some arms, dude. That could have been something way different.
So fucking like Tentalican or something like that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I had like 20 of them.
You got
like,
fucking Squidwards dropping down.
yeah, handsome ones too.
Oh, that's just you're talking about like the freaking the shape that whenever SpongeBob hit him with the hit him with the door. Oh man, yeah, that'd be freaky, bro. That'd be freaky.
Yeah, but even that still looks like something you've seen like on this planet. Like,
yeah, I mean, shit, dude.
I mean, the craziest thing we have on this planet that's probably the closest to actually being like an alien that's here for sure is a tardigrade.
They're in the water.
Yes, the water bears. It's tardigrades. If a meteor hit and they were on there, that's technically an alien that's now on the surface of this earth.
What is it? A tardigrade?
Tardigrade.
Tardigrade.
They're called water bears. They're very, very small.
Holy shit.
They could have came off of a meteor onto the earth.
That's a freaky looking thing.
Yeah, they're extremely small. They're like micro. Like they're very, very, very small. But they can survive in the vacuum of space.
How the hell they found that?
Microscope.
Oh, they're that small.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But technically, they could be aliens.
They look like gophers with that a bare body.
They look like a
They look like a freaking.
what they're called, like a mole almost, like a naked mole rat.
The thing has MLA, mouth like anus.
Yeah, it looks like foreskin.
Oh god, that thing's disturbing.
So yeah, no, those can literally live on like asteroids or like meteors, like all that.
So
comets.
what's their purpose?
I think they just eat small bacterias and stuff like that.
Tardigrades are not immortal, but they have a powerful adaptation that allows them to survive for decades in extreme conditions.
They find them inside of volcanoes.
Cryptobiosis. Yeah. So they
could shut their
they have a
system down.
Yeah, they have a powerful adaptation. They have a powerful adaptation that allows them to survive for decades in extreme conditions. Cryptobiosis. To endure environmental stress, tardigrades suspend their metabolism through a process called cryptobiosis.
Yeah. Yeah. So that could be an alien that's here. Because, I mean, technically it wouldn't be from this planet.
They can withstand the shock of boiling water and temperatures near absolute zero. Others have survived in the crushing pressures of the deep ocean or go without water for decades.
Yeah.
Tardigrades have survived in the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, if I were to guess if an alien was here, I'm going with those things are definitely one.
Could you imagine those things in the size of a xenomorph?
Bro, imagine that thing the size of like a Rottweiler, dude. It'd be like, we gotta kill these. We gotta get them now.
That's a movie right there.
Dude, it can, like I said, the pressures it can survive is like crazy.
Yeah, how the fuck you killing that thing?
That's what I'm saying.
You ain't lighting it on fire.
I don't even know if you could shoot it and like that would work.
Maybe acid.
Yeah, but acid works so slow. Like a lot of people think acid works like almost immediately. No, it takes a while to start actually affecting your skin and stuff.
Isn't college one of the biggest scams in the world?
Yeah. You want to know what's crazier now? And I heard people telling me this while I was in college, and I'm like, yeah, that does kind of make sense. Because you remember how many people were going to college? I'm like, oh yeah, once I get out of here, like I'll make like really good money. Now it's the opposite. If you got a trade, Everyone,
Go to trade school.
go to trade school.
Yep.
If you are a really good electrician, I heard people talking in Austin right now in Texas. If you are good an electrician, like a really good one, you can make about $5 million a year doing jobs. Like if you have your own like electrical company, because they're building so much stuff out there and so much infrastructure, and no one knows how to do all the electrical work and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they're all yuppies.
Now you're valuable. As compared to before, they were like, we do need doctors and lawyers. Like, yes, we still need those. But everyone else, like, how many civil engineers do we need?
I advocate now for trade school. I was in college with you for a long time. We were there for a long time.
Yeah, we put our time in.
If you do not accept credits from a school that is equally or better than you academically, however you measure that, even if they're not, like SLCC, you say you're going to accept these things. You don't switch that up on people.
No.
Because now, I hope you take a fucking hit.
Oh, yeah. I hope you lose that money.
I hope you do.
Because guess what? The crazy part for us especially.
It's not about what you know. It's about who you know. And guess what? That little piece of paper you got.
That's nice. Just because you had that piece of paper doesn't mean you know something I don't already know. I will say, like, yeah, college is still good if you're doing a hard science. Like,
I learned a lot from it. I mean, I did learn a lot from college.
Right.
I did. But the fact that you don't want to give me my piece of paper because I needed to, because I won't take 47 more hours in electives.
Yeah. You're like,
you know what I told them? Whenever they told me that, I said, man, with all due respect, I love this university and everything it's done for me. Mm-hmm. I do. Yeah. I'm not going to mention the name. I love where I went to school at. But here's the thing. If you want me to pay $16,000 to go bowling to get my piece of paper, I better be in the fucking PBL by the time I'm done.
I better get a check.
I better be done in the PBL. We better both be
getting paid. Me and you both went there at a very specific time, right? All the sports were doing really good and all that. But they never reinvested any of that money they were getting from all the students back into the students. As in, they weren't updating things. They're building more stuff onto sports complexes and stuff like that. Because guess what? They're going to get the general population's money too.
They are trying to eradicate Greek life right now. That's why they can't get people into those fucking sports games.
No one wants to go there.
No.
The tickets are cheap.
They want to become an academically known university.
Which they should have, instead of building onto things, they should have put the money into the classrooms. Like the physics department was all old equipment and stuff for a while. And then they finally started getting those better whiteboards, those smart boards and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't like those things.
No, it's not good for physics either. Like a regular chalkboard is probably your best bet.
Give me a whiteboard with a dry erase marker.
Yeah. And I mean, that's how I do my homework, is with a whiteboard with a dry erase marker, because you're literally writing out so much stuff. But they didn't put the money back into the students that are giving them $16,000 each. And what was it? They said the size of the student body was what? Close to the size of a small city? The amount of people?
18,000.
Yeah. Every year. And it's not like people are going to stop going. But I mean, I will say this. If your family can afford it and it's a drop in the bucket for you to go to college, go for the experience.
Yeah, experience. That's it.
But I still think you'd be better off getting a trade.
I advocate for trade schools more than anything now.
I agree. Like
welders.
You can become your own boss.
Yep.
Through a trade way quicker than through a college degree.
Absolutely. We'll end at this note today. But welcome to our new little look, folks.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
I like it.
Beautiful picture right there.
I know. I remember when you bought that jacket.
You know, my girlfriend actually had that made for me for Christmas.
That's awesome.
Well, that's how I knew she was the one.
Oh, yeah, dude. Look, when they're willing to put the effort into your life, too.
Oh, I love that woman. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to Unwoken. This is Quentin Boudreaux. Mm-hmm. I'm Scott Davis. We hope you enjoyed this conversation, sponsored by Old English.
Absolutely.
Not 40s, but
no,
42. The extra 2 ounces.
Makes
kind of like that extra 2 inches that you very much need.
Missing out on.
As always, folks, take care, and I'll see your asses next week.
Absolutely.
Roll Tide.